What is going on, everybody? Man, Micah's back with another video. Back here with some Apple news. Yes, I will be covering Apple news as well, on top of some of the various not just Samsung, but Android news that I can come across. Maybe just some interesting tech news in general. And one of the things we'll be talking about is the iPhone SE 4 or 4th generation. And this is going to be a report from Macworld. So let's get some quick thoughts on the iPhone SE. Curious, is anybody using an SE, or do they have an SE in the house? Maybe if not for themselves, maybe for the family, children, the wife. I know for me personally, I do have one iPhone SE. I think it's the second or third generation model, but it's a company phone. So I do have one. It's currently updated to iPhone or iOS 16.5.1c, and great use, great quality in terms of consistency and software, and really just day-to-day use. I will say one of the apps in particular I noticed is a little bit more smooth upon launching is the ADP mobile app. It's arguably kind of better to use on the SE than it is on my iPhone 14 Pro, which is kind of interesting. But nonetheless, let me know down in the comment section below if anybody's using or likes the SE generation model for iPhones. This one in particular that might be coming out, if not this year, next year, involves basically like a redesign, if not grabbing an old phone out the vault and just redubbing it the iPhone SE. So if you're interested in the news, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, the notification bell, so my videos on my live streams. I don't live stream on this channel. I got caught again. So we sit back, I see what's cracking. Now let's get into the report. And upon sitting here on my Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, because I still haven't sold it, as you guys can see here from Macworld, iPhone SE 4, everything you need to know about Apple's next budget phone. And it's saying it may not actually arrive until 2025, if at all. So I'm almost beginning to know already how you guys may feel in the chat, considering people must not be buying the iPhone SE or buying them in large waves. Now I think with a redesign, it may gain popularity, since when you think about the iPhone SE's current design, although it may be a little bit more up to date externally, the screen is not. It's still classic big bezel bars with Touch ID, and since they've arguably kind of talked down on Touch ID to talk up Face ID, have you kind of obsoleted your own device? And I think that would change with the rumored design update, which essentially is the iPhone XR design, or iPhone 10 design, if you will. Now, as we go on here, updated June 21st, 2023, right? It says, echoing previous reports, Barclays analysts Blaine Curtis and Tom O'Malley can report that the iPhone SE 4 is unlikely to launch in 2024. Apple's iPhone SE doesn't follow the same predictable annual release schedule as the standard line, and the intervals between updates can be harder to predict. And no doubt that makes sense. As you guys see here, the first gen was 2016, the second gen was 4 years later at 2022 or 2020, but then the third gen was 2022. So it went from a 4-year release cycle to a 2-year release cycle. And now that it's 2023, a year after the most recent update, it is very possible that we wouldn't see one till at least past 2024, considering the history of the iPhone SE launches. So just based off that news alone, could we get it? I think it might be a bad idea if the design is going to be basically the same as the iPhone 10 line, only because you have the 10R, which arguably was almost the same price as the iPhone SE. And so if you're talking about taking that design and then making it the SE design, you might as well just, it's tough, because you're gonna have a lot of people like the tech world saying that you just redubbed the iPhone 10R and then just cheapened it, right? Just cut the cost. Is that necessarily a bad thing? No, I don't think from a design perspective. I think the SE definitely needs to upgrade in design, just because I do like the 10 design. I definitely like the iPhone 14 with the dynamic island, or the DI. But the iPhone SE definitely needs an upgrade from that classic legend look to, or legacy look if you will, to the more modern design of iPhones. So I think that'll be a good idea. And I think what would also be a good idea is to also thicken the phone, much like the iPhone 12 and up, giving it that more kind of classic legacy look of the iPhone, what was it, 4? And establishing that with the iPhone SE. I think that'll be a great idea for the iPhone SE line. So if we kind of look a little bit more in this case here and on this article, Ming-Chi Kuo tweeted that Apple was using a prototype SE to test its 5G modem, which will arrive in the iPhone SE before the flagship models. Kuo states that there are no plans for mass production and sales of this prototype SE, and has reported that the next SE isn't expected until 2025, which makes sense. That'll be 3 years since the last one, so definitely time is definitely familiar with this SE launch cycle. Now, in terms of the price, as we see, the first gen with the 32 gig started at $399, the 128 gig at $499, and then the second gen went from between $399 and $549, and then with this third gen, $429 to $579, already creeping into that territory of the 10R. So you're essentially resurrecting the 10R and cutting it back by like $100, $200 if you brought it back. And the reason why the 10R just keeps coming up is because that would be the next design choice for the SE. They really couldn't stick with this design that you see in this picture here long term. This design got that classic look, but you have to finally move on from it to stay in step, in tune with the rest of your product decisions. I think that's something that Apple would have to do. So, and then of course you got Jern from FPT Focal, of course describing the SE4 as essentially the 10R in this video. I watched it. He does good work, you already know. And I actually had the red 10R. That was my first iPhone way back in like 2018 timeframe. And I liked the phone. I had it for about 5 months, came back to Android. But yeah, nonetheless, those are my thoughts. Let me know down in the comment section below. Should they bring back the SE? Should they update it to the 10 design, or should they jump straight to the 12 design? 12, iPhone 12, 13, 14 design. Or is that doing too much for a more or less budget or simple edition that you could say the SE stands for the iPhone SE? Comment section open for discussion. But again, as always, you guys haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, so that's my videos. So always sit back, chillax, see what's cracking. It's really Micah signing out. To the next video. Wait.